Halloween used to be one of my favorite holidays. Now, I really only enjoy it if I've got a good party to go to. Back in 2018, when I was a senior in college, my friend Tracy's sorority was throwing this big Halloween party. She told me I could bring one friend, since they didn't want too many outsiders. So I invited my best friend, Cody. The only problem was, we didn't have costumes, and the party was that night. Cody was working late, so I told him I'd grab one for both of us from the Spirit Halloween that opened up 5 minutes from my house. I didn't think much about it. I just grabbed a Where's Waldo costume for myself, and a Superman costume for him too, of the cheapest ones they had. But when I got to the cashier, things got weird. He was this guy who looked off, hard to tell his age, maybe late 30s, early 40s, skinny build, glasses, receding hairline, and this awkward, intense presence as he scanned the costumes. I was on the phone with Cody, telling him about the party, the address, the sorority name, all, while the cashier watched me closely. When I hung up, he said, "Sounds like a fun party tonight, huh?" I just chuckled and said, "Yeah, should be." Then he asked, "Open invite? Bet there'll be a lot of girls there." That question made me uncomfortable, but I told him it was closed invite. He nodded slowly, like he was memorizing that information. When I paid, he extended his hand and said, "I'm Mike." I hesitated, but shook his hand and said, "Sean." Then I left. Later that night, Cody and I got to the party around 10 p.m. It was packed. Loud music, flashing lights, people in costumes everywhere. Typical college Halloween chaos. Everything was fine until about an hour in, when someone near the front door started yelling for Tracy. We walked over, and this girl at the door looked freaked out. She said, "Who's Sean? And who's that creepy guy you invited?" I said, "What creepy guy?" She described some older-looking man in a cowboy costume. She said he touched one of the girls inappropriately and tried to pull her into a side room. She screamed for help, and he ran out. That's when my stomach dropped. The cowboy costume, the age, the timing. I told them about the cashier from Spirit Halloween. Everyone got tense after that. They almost called the cops. The party went on, but no one was in the mood anymore. Cody and I left a little after midnight. As I pulled out of the parking spot, a car 2 spaces behind us started up at the same time. We made a few turns left again, and the car stayed behind us every time. That's when Cody and I both said it at the same time. "It's him." I pulled over to the side of the road, hoping he'd stop too. But the car just paused behind us for a few seconds, then floored it past us. We didn't get a look at the driver, but we knew after dropping Cody off. I noticed another car parked with its lights off a few houses away. When I started driving again, it turned its lights on and sped past me just like before. The next morning, I called that Spirit Halloween and reported the cashier. They said they'd look into it. I never heard back, and I never went back there again. Halloween 2019 was the most terrifying night of my life. I live in Australia, where Halloween isn't a big deal. Maybe 5 or 6 trick-or-treaters total, but I've always loved it. My parents don't, so I'm the one who decorates the house and gives out candy. That year, a thunderstorm hit around 6, so I figured no one would come by. I sat in the living room watching The Conjuring 2 to pass the time. Around 7:30, my friend M texted our group chat asking if anyone wanted to go trick-or-treating, just for fun. It was weird, we hadn't done that since middle school, but I was bored, so I said sure. My other friends, S, C, and H, agreed to. Then M texted the address of a house that always gave out lots of candy. But when we got there, M didn't show. He said he couldn't make it. Still, the 4 of us went to the house. It looked abandoned, but there was a table with a pumpkin bowl full of lollipops on the porch. We laughed, emptied most of it, and started walking away. That's when we saw them. 2 men dressed as clowns, walking up the driveway toward us. Their faces were painted with huge, uneven smiles. They didn't say anything, just tilted their heads at us. Then, without warning, one of them squeaked his red nose, and they both started running. We bolted. We ran through the rain, down 3 blocks, cutting through someone's yard. When we finally stopped, they were gone. We went to M's house to tell him what happened, but when he opened the door, he looked confused. "What are you guys doing?" he asked. "You told us to go to that house." I said, "Dot." His face dropped. "I lost my phone earlier today," he said quietly. "Whoever had his phone sent us there later that night." I went home, finished my movie, and around 9:30 went to grab the candy bowl from outside. It was empty, but inside the bowl was a clown nose. I told my parents, who brushed it off as a prank. Then, at 1 a.m., I woke up to tapping on my window. It sounded like small rocks being thrown. I finally pulled open the blinds and froze. All of my Halloween decorations had been destroyed, torn apart. Then, another tap, a lollipop, hit the glass, and that's when I saw them. The two clowns, perched on my neighbor's roof, staring down at me. I screamed for my parents. The police came, but the clowns were gone. They checked the house we'd gone to earlier that night. It was abandoned. Inside, they found EMS phone on the kitchen floor. We never found out who the clowns were, how they tracked us down. But Halloween's only a few weeks away again, and I can't help but feel like they're still out there. It was a stormy Halloween night. My friends, John, Mary, and Keenan, were over. We didn't have plans, so I grabbed the Ouija board from my closet. We set it on the kitchen table, lit 3 candles, and turned off the lights. I thought it'd be funny just to set the mood. We started with, "Is anyone there?" Almost instantly, the planchette started moving. "Why, S. We all laughed, assuming someone was pushing it. We asked dumb questions. "Are you going to haunt Mary?" Stuff like that. Then, without anyone saying anything, the planchette spelled, "I'm inside the house." We laughed again, until we heard it. A heavy thump, directly above us, right above the table. Mary screamed. My parents weren't home. We didn't have pets. Nobody else was there then. The doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. It was just a dad and his little kid, trick-or-treating in the rain. I gave them candy and shut the door. But upstairs, something was wrong. We grabbed a flashlight and went up. The hall light was dim. Only a small nightlight plugged into the wall. Halfway down the hall, near my parents' bedroom, we heard it again, this soft, whispering voice. A girl's voice. Then the sound of something hitting the floor. Mary and Keenan ran downstairs. John and I didn't. We opened the bedroom door. Slowly. The room was pitch black. But in the corner, there was something tall, still, watching us. I slammed the door and we ran. When the cops arrived, they searched the entire house. Under the bed, in the closets, nothing. No signs of anyone breaking in. After they left, we'd threw the Ouija board in the neighbor's garbage. None of us spoke much after that. Just sat under the porch awning, listening to the rain. I didn't sleep that night, and I haven't touched a Ouija board since. Because sometimes, the scariest part of Halloween isn't the masks or the ghosts. It's the people behind them.